Hey everybody, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the importance of really going after your dreams. We are up close and personal. I am really close to the video right now, but I feel like I'm going to be able to get my point across way better because I'm up close and personal, okay? Okay. So I was watching a ton of videos from Lila Hermosi, Margarita, Ivanka Trump, just loving these women that actually are so inspirational. They really go after their dreams. They aren't scared of having a voice, okay? I think that you have to have a voice, whatever you're doing. If you want to become that greatest version of yourself, you have to start speaking. You have to open up your throat chakra, okay? For a really long time, my throat chakra was completely closed. What has gotten me, first of all, a couple things have opened up my throat chakra. Mainly, yoga, getting a dog, definitely opened up my throat chakra. She made me become more social, more alive. Definitely just doing things that make me speak and getting out of my comfort zone. Doing the things that make me feel scared, like this, making a YouTube video, posting it on Instagram, posting it on YouTube, not being afraid of what people are going to think, not being afraid of the judgments from the people. Okay, if we aren't afraid of judgments from people, we can then move forward in life. But if we are afraid of judgments, we cannot quantum leap. How to quantum leap into your next reality? All things are in this moment, here and now. You have to attract that into your life by becoming that version of yourself. Match the frequency of your desire and it will magnetize into your life instantaneously. How can you match the frequency of your desire? Just become that version. Do visualization meditations. Be that version of you that you would want to attract. Let's say, for example, if you are wanting to have a whole entire business and starting a whole career right now, you have to be that version of yourself today, now. Are you wearing sweatshirts when you go out, or are you getting dressed up? Are you wearing cute outfits, or are you just going out in your pajamas? Start getting ready, start getting dressed, start wearing the clothes that make you feel like your highest version self. Because no one will do it for you. No one in this world will say, yeah, you have to like do this and this in order to become that version of yourself, especially if people around you aren't that version of themselves. It can be hard to try to navigate who you want to be. So it's good to look to mentors, let's say online. So for me, like I mentioned earlier, Lila Hermosi, Ivanka Trump, Margarita, this really cute girl. She speaks all about feminine, masculine energy. Just really cool people that are getting me in tune with my life and how I want to live my life. Tapping into those energetic frequencies so I can then magnetize the dream life that I want, because everything you want in this moment is exactly where your fears are, where your shadow is. Those 15-minute conversations that you aren't having. Lila Hermosi just spoke about that. And it's so true. Let's say a conversation that you're just avoiding. So then you're just living in misery, right? Being in that negative cycle, having that negative relationship. If you aren't speaking and communicating your truth, then where are you even going in your life? Because you aren't feeling that sense of freedom. You need to communicate. You need to get through things in your life in order to move forward in your life. And I truly believe that it's true. All of our fears, and if we can just go after things that, let's say, we're afraid of, like for me, I was so afraid of making a YouTube video, posting content, but if I can just pursue that, that's where I will see success, right? Where my shadows are. I'm afraid, let's say sometimes I will think like, oh, I'm not worthy enough, this and that. Everyone is worthy. You are worthy of that too, okay? You're just not seeing that because you're seeing yourself through your own eyes. But if you start looking at yourself through your highest self eyes and say, wow, look at her, look at him, like, look how beautiful this person is, this version of myself is. Start viewing yourself like your highest version self, and you will get what you want. You will go places in your life because you will be going with this freedom. And Like, God is with you. Let God flow through you. Truly let him be in you, okay? Once you allow God in, your life changes. If you are suffering from, let's say, insomnia, from worrying too much, from thinking about if people are judging you, any of that, just let God flow through you. He will guide you in your life. He will show you which way to go. He will be your biggest provider. God is your provider. If you give it to people's hands, God steps away. Give it to God, he will come into your life. Never put your trust in a man. Put your trust in God, okay? Number one, my faith has gotten so strong because I know the only person that is my provider, the only person that can heal is God to me. Personally, I believe in God. You can believe whatever you would like. I'm just sharing my story, and that is for you, the universe, whoever you, whatever it is. Personally, I really truly believe that if we let go and let God in, we can see a direct correlation of freedom. Like, peace comes when you let God in. Peace comes when you know that you aren't in control anymore. Peace comes when you let people off the hook and you let God in. Make room for God, and he will show you and reveal himself to you. I noticed that when there is room in my life and when I have faith, I sleep better. I'm not as needy for people, not trying to get people's approval. Obviously, we all need people. We all need things in life. We are humans, okay? We need material things. We aren't angels, right? But when we aren't so dependent and codependent on people, when we aren't codependent on people's approval of who we are, and when we are codependent on God, that's the difference. Be codependent with God. Don't be codependent with people. If you become codependent with God, that's the freedom that lies within you. Peace, tranquility, all of that comes to you when you become one with God. Like, when I get out into nature, when I just see my body just works, everything is just on a cycle, being a woman, having your period, just so many miraculous moments every single day in your life. And when I just notice, like, this is God, I am a piece of God within me in this moment. And something so interesting that I was studying a little bit of Kabbalah, and the teacher was speaking all about how somebody had an instance where something happened and there was an accident with this. Something happened. I don't want to get into details, but something happened, and the guy went to the rabbi and he said, something happened, but I'm completely perfect. Nothing happened to me, not a scratch on my body. And the rabbi said, and you want to hear my miracle? I didn't even get into that accident. And I'm just saying, like, sometimes we don't even realize every single minute that God is protecting us in every minute, and like, you didn't even happen to you, and that's your miracle. And I was just listening to that, I'm like, oh my God, yes, like, that is the miracle that we want in every single moment. Like, when you didn't get into that accident, when someone didn't, or just those are the things, and God is guiding you when your day just flows. That's your peace, that's your tranquility. So, and who shared this? There's a guy on YouTube. His name is David, and he speaks all about Kabbalah. I'm not sure his last name. I'm sure somebody knows his last name. If you just search him up, he'll come up. David about Kabbalah on Safari or something. And I truly believe this. Like, in every moment of our waking life is a miracle. Also, something so interesting that I have noticed and kind of just came up for me is that there is a podcast, and he speaks about, what is the podcast's name? Something wisdom. Oh, Modern Wisdom. Chris Williamson had a podcast with recently this countryman. His name I forget at the moment, but It's one of his most recent podcasts with a guy with a cowboy hat, and he's an older man. He shares that, let's say somebody has a day in their life where they go through the day and they feel like they had no progress. For some reason, they felt they have no progress in their life. But he's the countryman in the podcast with Chris Williamson says, but today wasn't a great day, but I didn't wreck anything. Everything stayed the same, but I didn't wreck anything. Obviously, he says this even way better, but in other words, if you had a day in your life where you feel like there was no progress, nothing really happened, but thank God you didn't wreck anything, you didn't make any messes, you didn't go out there and do make like problems or have anger issues or different things. You didn't wreck anything, so fine, there wasn't any progress, but stayed the same. And now I'm saying that's a miracle too, right? Like, according to the Kabbalah and everything, like, that's a miracle too, you know? So just look at your life and say, like, maybe it doesn't feel like I'm making so much progress, but thank God I didn't wreck anything. So that's a miracle in this moment too. And every single moment is really truly a miracle. And I truly believe that you can create that for yourself in every single moment. And the country man in the podcast, he also shares really interesting things about, he has like a horse and he goes out and he trains it, and horses feel energy like everything. And I was thinking, like, he has horses, but I have a dog, and I was just thinking, like, animals are pretty much all with energy. They just feel the owner's energy and they go with it. Days that I have good energy, that I am meditating, that I am doing yoga, that I sleep, that I feel centered within myself, my dog is right next to me. She's like 2 feet away from me, or she's like guarding the front of the house, which she's doing now. She's usually like, those are the two options. She just wants to be so close to me, or she's like guarding, like to make sure nobody's coming through. And I think that it's so interesting that dogs really feel energy and animals completely feel energy. And it's important to just notice their behaviors and notice that majority of life and life in it of itself is really just a compilation of energy, and you have to have a good energy in order to be able to feel good and receive and be open to receive. And I really think that the days that, let's say, I go out for a walk with my dog and my energy is off, she's like jumping on me, jumping on the leash, she's biting the leash, she's just going crazy. But obviously, that's trying not to have that happen too often. And she teaches me how to walk slower. Like, she doesn't like going fast, she just goes slow, sniffs everything. She just slows me down, but it's really good because it helps me become more and more and more present. So I would say that if there's one small little concept out of this YouTube video that you can take, is to choose an area in your life where you notice that you can be kinder to yourself, and think about something like, maybe you think you're meant to be all the way up there down the line. Maybe you think you're meant to be doing this and this, and you're meant to be doing so much, but really think about, hey, but right now is a miracle, and oh, I didn't wreck anything today. Maybe I didn't make progress physically, but spiritually, I didn't wreck anything. And in this moment, I am feeling so much better because I am being that version of myself that is kind to myself, that loves myself, that's slowing down, that's becoming more present. Less in the future, more in the present. Less in the past, more in the present moment. If you feel that one of your friends can benefit from this YouTube video too, feel free to share it with them. And whenever you are listening to this, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. And subscribe down below, like and comment too, and let me know what you are working on in order to feel more present within your day-to-day life. All right, we'll see you back for the next video. Bye!